Well, good afternoon, everybody. I got a thumbs up from the IT guys at the head of the room there, and we are going to start the City of Binghamton's Commission on Architecture, Urban Design, and Historic Preservation's meeting for November 5th, 2024. My name is John Darrow, and I am the chairman of the board. We will have a roll call starting on my left. Sir, you, who are you?
Jonathan Weisberg, Commissioner.
Thank you. Young lady,
Mary Ellen Morrow, Commissioner.
glad you're here.
Dan Need, Commissioner.
Of course you are.
Brian Haas, Commissioner.
Thank you, sir.
David Whalen, Commissioner.
Wonderful.
Dylan Pelton, Historic Preservation.
Thank you, sir. Okay, folks, we are on our way. Our first one on the agenda is 607 Shenango Street. Anybody in the audience? Anybody? Ferris Bueller? No? No? So we're gonna table. Oh, I do apologize. Approval for, make a motion for approval of the minutes as presented unless there's any errors, omissions, or discrepancies.
I'll second.
Thank you. All in favor? Unanimous. Minutes are passed. Then I'll skip or get to Shenango Street. Thank you. 607 Shenango Street. Anybody in the audience?
Jeff couldn't be here. He's going to be by phone later
Why don't we
on. So we're
push him to
going
the
to,
end and we can assist
Motion
these
to-
people.
yeah.
So I'm going to make a motion to table this to the end of the meeting today. Second. Thank you. All in favor? Wonderful. Unanimous. Okay. 85 Mason. Anybody? Bueller?
I left him a message. He's obviously, I don't think he's here. So
Make a motion to table 85 Mason Avenue to the end of the meeting. Second, thank you. All in favor? Carry on. Thank you. Unanimous. That's tabled. 174 Court Street. Come on down, sir. Glad you're here. Tell him what he's won, Bob. Yeah. Is the little green light on the microphone there, sir?
Yes, it is.
Okay, speaking there, we need your name and contact information, please.
My name is Richard A. Greco. I'm Senior Project Manager for the FAS Construction Group, and I'm representing 174 Court Street, Binghamton, the AVR building. And we're looking
Thank
to demolish a garage out on the
Okay.
property, which you can see right there.
Yep. Everybody has overlooked this or looked it over, depending on your perspective. It looks like it's in this part of the old Sears and Roebuck store years ago.
Yes, it is.
I thought my grandpa used to get his tires changed there.
as far as the condition of the interior, can you just state that for the record?
The interior of the building?
Yeah.
It's in very sad shape. Part of the roof is caved in. We've had it abatement appraisal done. I just got the report and it's hot, and we will take care of that accordingly before we demolish the building and get a permit and all that. But the exterior building is deteriorated also. It's cracking. It's really unsafe, and there's nothing in the building that's valuable
Yeah.
to speak of.
Okay. Any discussion before I make a declaration for agency taking the lead? Then I make a motion to declare Caud lead agency. Thank you. All in favor? Passes. I also make a motion to declare it an unlisted action. Thank you. All in favor? There we go. Now, this is where Mary Ellen comes in. Is that correct?
Yes.
Mary Ellen, you're up.
Excuse me. Will the proposed action create a material conflict with an adopted land use plan or zoning regulation? No. Will the proposed action result in a change in the use or intensity of use of land? No. Will the proposed action impair the character or quality of the existing community? No. Will the proposed action have an impact on the environmental characteristics that cause the establishment of a critical environmental area? No. Will the proposed action result in an adverse change in the existing level of traffic or affect existing infrastructure for mass transit, biking, or walkway? No. Will the proposed action cause an increase in the use of energy and it fails to incorporate reasonably available energy conservation or renewable energy opportunities? No. Will the proposed action impact existing public-private water, public-private wastewater treatment utilities? No. Will, excuse me. Will the proposed action impair the character or quality of important historic, archaeological, architectural, or aesthetic resources? No. Will the proposed action result in an adverse change to natural resources? Example, wetlands, water bodies, groundwater, air quality, flora, and fauna? No. Will the proposed action result in an increase in the potential for erosion, flooding, or drainage problems? No. Will the proposed action create hazard to environmental resources or human health? No. Therefore, I make a motion to declare a negative declaration.
I will second that motion. All in favor? Unanimous and negative declaration. Now, Dan, are you the city reader? Thank you.
All right, the City of Binghamton Historic Guidelines provide the following recommendations that address demolitions. Do not demolish historic structures that have historic or architectural significance within the city of Binghamton. Do not demolish a building that contributes to the historic setting and character of a district. Do not demolish a building which contains historic building materials or evidence of historic craftsmanship that would otherwise be difficult or impossible to replicate or reproduce. Do not demolish a building that is a rare example of its type, style, period of construction, or historic associations. A building should not be demolished without definitive plans for the reuse of the property. Reuse of the property should never be a parking lot, which would generally have a negative impact on the overall character of a street. Do not demolish a building when reasonable efforts can be made to maintain its structural integrity. The building is active and earning a reasonable economic return. It is not appropriate to demolish the building, even if the return is not deemed to be the highest and best use. So in, I guess, accordance with the City of Binghamton guidelines, I'd make a motion to say this is not historically significant.
I will second that motion. All in favor? Fine. We do have one other question for you, sir. What is your intention once the building is gone?
Parking area.
Okay. As in my opinion, it is pre-existing parking, although covered. I don't think that presents a problem. ZBA would pick it up if they do.
Yeah.
Sir, knock your building down. Thank you for your patience. Have a great day.
Thank you. Thank you.
I have a quick question because, not for you, you're fine.
Okay.
We're started late. Is anybody pressed for time? They have another appointment or anything? And what is your property address?
62 or 64 Shenango Street.
Could you, young lady, come on down because you have an appointment. These gentlemen are being very nice, and gentlemen, thank you. Just ordinarily we'd be fine, and we don't want to reschedule. It could cost her another month in her project.
I do enjoy coming to visit you guys because this is probably my favorite meeting to come to.
Well, we're the best commission in the city. You know,
You have us laughing every time. I love it.
I understand Santa will be here next month if you have anything to come in for.
I will be back. Yes.
Yeah, please. I should sell tickets, right? Okay, give me 1 second. So 62 Shenango Street. Young lady, name, address.
I am Tanya with Robinson Design Company in Shenango Bridge, New York.
We're glad you're here.
Thank you.
Make your case.
So this Elegant Estates is moving into this place. I believe they bought the building and they're trying to dress up the front of the building. I proposed to do a 10-foot sign across the front. They were wanting to do a 12-foot sign across the front. So I just have a couple questions for you guys. Would they be at the top where it's white? Would they be able to paint that black and do a smaller signboard? Or can we cover that whole area up? So the point is, I guess if you do a 12-foot sign, I have to cut 2 boards and butt them up together to make one 12-foot board. Otherwise, if we do a 10-foot board, then I can do it in one piece. But the customer is asking me to go as large as I can, but I can only make the words so big to make it proportional. So my recommendation was to just paint that white part black to make it look nicer. If you can scroll up to that other picture. Oh, no, I must be about that one. Where the whole top is black. So that's the 12-foot one. So I'm really looking for your guys' opinion on what you think you would like in this area. And to try to, that block needs to be dressed up a little bit, I think, in my
So
opinion.
let me ask you a question. Do you have a picture of the building you could throw up real quick? Just want to make sure I understand where this in the commission. This is where it's going.
Yeah, the neighboring buildings have like banners hanging up over there.
This section of the building.
Yes.
Nothing over there.
So we would only be painting it black in the area of that storefront. That was just an option I proposed to them. I don't know if they're open to the idea of it.
For the record, if you do paint it, you would go administratively through my office and you'd fill out another Caud form.
Okay,
But black is a historic color, so I can't see any problem. That would be-
okay.
I mean, John, you're chairman.
Yep, no, I don't have a problem with it.
And would it matter whether it's a 12-foot or 10-foot signboard?
What you're asking is more of a zoning regulation thing.
Yeah.
Caud isn't really, I mean, there's the ZBA and the planning commission for that.
Okay.
What we do is tell you if it's historically appropriate or not.
Okay,
So afterwards, meet with Greg upstairs and we can
Okay.
go through it again if you want.
okay. All right, perfect. Thank you.
Comments, questions, anything for the young lady?
We also have a 10-inch by 12-inch door logo that we would need approved for the front entrance door. So I believe it's 12 inches tall by 10 inches wide.
That's just bringing the top logo down to the door. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Which all conforms.
It's just the ES logo part.
I'm content with what I'm seeing. So let me try and frame a motion here. I would make a motion to approve the signage as presented for the door for 62 Shenango Street. I'm going to break this in component parts for you.
Okay.
Could I have a second? Second, all in favor? Fine, you got your door.
Okay.
I'm going to make a motion to approve the signage as presented for 62 Shenango Street for the frieze above the windows, with the understanding that it has to conform to the zoning board's guidelines. That'll give you your 10-foot, your 12-foot, whatever they're going to tell you.
Okay,
But at this point, do I have a second? Thank you. All in favor?
all right. Thank you, guys.
Okay.
Have a
Expect
good
to
day.
see you in December. Bring candy. Yeah. Okay. Now. 315 Clinton Street, gentlemen, please come down. And thank you for your understanding. State your names for the record and contact information, please.
Certainly. I'm John Rizzoni, the General Director of Tri-Cities Opera. And this is Jay McMahon, our Operations and Development Director. Phone number, email address, what do
Yeah,
you need? Yeah.
Either one.
My email address is executive@tricitiesopera.org. And you can reach us at 607-729-3444.
And that contact info will provide for both of you.
us, yes.
Wonderful. Glad you're here. Make your case, please.
So we have finally been able to replace our roof after 10 years of trying to raise funds. You can see the project there. And when we were in process with the roof replacement, which all went through approval by Caud through Keystone Associates years ago when we drew up the plans, the company that finalized the roof replacement essentially told us that if we replace the terracotta copings that are on the top of just the sides of the building, not the facade, that it will potentially decrease the life of the roof by the way it directs water. And so some of them are also broken, were broken and removed. But we're asking to not replace the terracotta copings on the sides of our building.
Okay, so not the entire. What part of it are you going to?
Sorry, they only exist on the sides of the building, so we would just not put them back. The facade is unchanged.
Okay.
Well, it's fully restored as of a few years ago, but unchanged.
What is the new cap are going to be?
So it's an existing roofing material. Is it?
It's at the moment, there is just very basic, barely noticeable metal covering secured to the EPDM roofing. So it has
Gauge of the metal, type of metal?
that I'm not sure of.
Life expectancy of the metal?
From what I was told, it should be about 25 to 30 years.
And these have lasted how long? When was the
Well,
building built?
They've
About
told us that
1915?
that the copings themselves, that the majority of them are already cracked, which will allow water to potentially seep into the masonry, which is we are already needing to do repair work to.
Well, they would set on top of the metal that you have in place.
Yes. But he said that that will still work against the newer system and direct water towards the roof versus leaving it with the simple metal capping will help to keep water away from.
I don't see any. Do we have pictures of the existing capping they put up there? I don't have it in my,
This is the existing roof, but I couldn't really get very close. I mean, I'm on the ground, so it looks like aluminum from the ground. That's what I assume.
Is it more that the, looks like it's from?
Yeah.
So part of it, is it putting water on?
It is largely directing it towards the parapet and reducing the newer design reduces the amount of water that is directed into the parapets, which much of that, when we did get the roof out, had to replace a lot of the subroofing due to water damage that's been ongoing for years.
So that we want to direct it.
Yes.
masonry side coming down. I was on the commission when we approved it, and I think that part of the approval was for the replacement of the existing caps and or in kind. I think that was part of the original approval for the project to go forward. Do you have minutes for that? I mean, this
When
is
was it?
3-4
Like
years
a
ago.
decade ago, maybe.
Yeah, this was,
Yeah, I mean, before
We might have
my
s-
time. in
were we
this
meeting?
position.
I think we were still meeting up in the boardroom at that point.
I think I just want to
Thanks,
put
Jack.
before you the fact that it has been incredibly hard to generate the resources to save this building, which is what we just did. It's taken us a decade to figure out how to save this building. We've had severe water damage over the past few years. We are a small nonprofit organization. Anything we can do to make this roof last longer without us having to expend $200 a tile to replace those or figure out something else. This is a building that is on the National Historic Register, not really for the architecture, but more for the
Okay.
significance.
You just answered the question.
Yeah.
Because it is a National Register listed property, and my recollection of the approval was for the caps, we can't authorize their removal. They would have to be put back up and repaired and or replaced in kind. You're a listed structure.
Okay, so,
I'm not trying to be a bully here or to.
no, I get that. I get that. Okay, so who's gonna pay for it?
Those are the guidelines under which we have to operate. And
Right.
if we had the facade showing it, it does make a rather significant visual impact on what was there. So you've got a build, I'm roughly thinking it's built around 1915.
Yeah.
Just. from the looks of it.
1917, yes.
1917.
Yeah.
So the caps that are there, if not having been replaced once in their life, have lasted 100 years and or 50, 60 years. Your aluminum isn't going to make that. I'm just having been in the building trade for a long time. But as it is a National Register listed property, I don't have an option. Maybe you could go to ZBA. Would that be an option to try? But National Register property, there's no wiggle room here that I understand.
I would have to ask, I believe. I think Robert should probably chime in.
Yeah.
I can't find the original decision letter.
We're going to table this for right now. Okay.
As far as the original decision, it was before my tenure with the company.
Yeah.
But my understanding was that the plans were submitted under administrative approval.
I'm going to table this for now, and pending any other discussion. Our corporation counsel, his wife is having a baby as we speak, and he left. Let's just get a better decision than my understanding. Okay, and maybe you can get by with the metal. Maybe you can't. I don't want to. So I'm going to table it and keep your fingers crossed and okay? Make a motion to table 315 Clinton
Yeah. it's
Um,
3:15.
to our next meeting pending more information. Second, anybody? Thank you. All in favor? Thank you, guys. Sorry to keep you inside on such a beautiful day. If we can, we will. Okay. Okay, do you want to try Mason Street or Mason Ave or the Schnagel Street people?
I try the guy with the garage first because
He'd be quicker and easier.
Yeah.
Go ahead, I'm not on, Mary Ellen, you maybe ought to sit over there. This is getting contagious. Dan, you're on your own, but I mean, this baby factory thing going on over here, I mean. Yeah, I know. That's what my mom thought at 45 and dad was 60, so. Yeah. Okay, just, you know,
well, he's just gonna have to wait then. He's not.
I'm sorry?
He's just gonna have to wait. He's not.
Okay, so we are going to continue to table 85 Mason until the December meeting. Second. Thank you, Jonathan. All in favor? Unanimous. Thanks. I saw your hand go up. So, I got you covered, Dave. No, that was Mason Ave. That was for the garage demo. Now we're trying to reach the gentleman on Schnagel Street. It is extremely rare to have somebody come forward to actually become a historic property. And I'm just thrilled. And it's a beautiful house.
Give it a shot.
How are you? Can you hear me okay?
Yes, we can hear you.
I'm not echoing or anything?
What?
No, go ahead.
I need him to identify
Awesome.
himself and
Okay.
contact information.
We're gonna need your name, address, and contact information.
I am Jeff Rachlin. I live at 51 Valley Street, Endwell, New York, 13760. My phone number is 607-624-2423.
Thank you,
Would you
sir.
like the email?
Email would be wonderful.
Is that a
Yes.
Yes.
That's J Rachlin, RAICHLIN 53@gmail.com.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
You're very welcome.
Okay. So the applicant would like to designate his house as a landmark structure. I haven't had one of these in a while. What is our procedure going forward?
I can hardly hear him.
I know we're working on this.
It's
So
okay.
going forward, what we do is Caud will either say it's historic and it's a landmark structure. From there, we would contact the county and we would go into, if you wanted to be state and national registered, we would keep going with it. But as far as putting it on the landmark list, that's up to the people in this room.
And I would strongly recommend you pursue the state and national register listing, sir. It gives you a great tax advantage and grants available to you. That's your choice. So after reading the staff findings, which I did through the computer, I think it's a wonderful thing. Any comments, questions? Or I'm going to make a motion to approve as presented. Anybody? Then I make a motion to approve the, is this the pre-designation?
I think it's just the designation.
Okay, to a motion to approve the designation for historic consideration or for a historic house as a landmark structure for 607 Schnagel Street, Binghamton, New York. Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Dan. All in favor? You're on your way, sir. Thank you very
You are
much.
Designated landmark structure.
Yay. Pretty cool.
Congratulations. Have a good day, Jeff.
All right, thanks, Dylan.
Yeah.
Hey, I also have another picture for you to take a look at. I might already showed it to you, but give me a call when you have some time.
Yeah, sure.
Okay,
All
talk
right.
to you soon.
Bye.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
And there was much rejoicing.
For the record, he has all of Whitlock's drawings for that house.
Really? Oh, very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. So the last thing I see here is we've got talk about Riverside Drive in the Front Street Historic District. Very cool stuff.
The Front Street Historic District was started in the 80s and it was never really completed, kind of like the Main Street Historic District. I don't think I would recommend this one be local just because it's a lot of it is residential, but it includes the Roberson Mansion, the Decker Mansion, the Kilmer Mansion, anything that's down kind of in that area by the river. All of that is a very historic neighborhood and
Do you
it
have
was,
a map.
yeah, we do. I can draw.
So I'd like to get both Whitney houses in there. They are. Good. And I trust everybody else knows the Whitney houses, both Whitney houses, when I make such a comment. Do we know who Whitney was? William
Wow.
Bingham's land agents, and this is his two children. Bingham's land agent was Joshua Whitney. William Bingham's land agent was Joshua Whitney. He had a son named George Washington and the other one was Franklin. Go figure how he got those names at that time in the century. Franklin's house is on Front Street across from what was the old Ramada Inn up on the hill, Beautiful Creek Revival. And George Washington's is now on Riverside Drive, kind of across from Riverside Towers. It actually stood where the Davidge Mansion is across from Robertson. And in 03, they picked it up and moved it around the corner so the Davidges could build their mansion. Kind of cool stuff. Oh, about it, yeah. Build around the corner, build a new foundation. That's now the Decker Foundation. Oh, I'm sorry.
So that is the basic district right there. It begins at one of the Whitney houses that he's talking about next to the Ramada Inn and it extends down and across. The end is where Vincent Street is right there. Every major architect, which there's about 8 in Binghamton, has some kind of representative architecture in that little zone right there. No. I wish I could.
So I gotta ask a question.
Basically what that outline is Front Street, Oak Street, half of Leroy Street, and Riverside, Vincent, in that neighborhood. Yeah. Oh, hang on. It dips out like that because that's the Binghamton, like Riverside apartments. So it's on, yeah. Yep. The rest of it is all considered for the region. That's Roberson. The red one, so if you go in. Those are demolished, yeah. Yeah. Which is already registered, yeah. Yeah, anything with a dot has been considered by the state registry already. I'll show you. And you can go into the CRIS system at any time and check it out. This is what they mean. They're either, everything in here is both basically eligible or listed. Very few are not eligible in this area.
So what are you asking of us?
To motion to accept it is a,
Well, golly gee whiz. Any discussion, any comments? Then I'm going to,
Question
Okay, good.
and discussion. To start off with, I am naive. I do not know what making a historic district actually entails, and I'm just curious because of flooding in this area, how those two are parsed.
as far as, so what, you mean what comprises a historic district?
Just wondering, if someone's trying to build something to prevent flooding or change
So when we had the two floods in 2006, 2011, any house that was impacted and was demolished, we demolished. It's gone.
Oh, no, absolutely. But is this area prone to flooding? Was this area flooded?
Yeah, it is.
Okay, so I'm
But like I
just-
said, most of the structures that would be destroyed in the 500-year floodplain have been raised already.
Okay,
So none of the historic structures that would be affected by flooding are in that area. We're gonna redraw, I believe we're gonna redraw the FEMA district maps for flooding. And after that, it's gonna be a whole new situation, but that hasn't happened yet.
okay. Now I was just wondering, as I said, because I know with historic, then there are other, concerns that we have with repairing something. So how
Yeah.
those two, how we can make sure that they're
So
congruous
the
together.
repairs would have to be in kind or
To-
of material, the modern material that they could have the look of
Mhm.
the original structure going forward. Kind of like what.
And how about with the riverfront shoreline itself to someone's house? Are they able to, put,
I don't know. I'm not sure if that really qualifies.
Right.
There's a lot of impermanent structures and impermanent things in that area. And unless they would be historically marked or memorialized somehow, I don't know if they would.
oh no, so it's
qualify.
okay to have impermanent structure to protect?
Yeah, I would assume so.
Okay, in a historic, that's all, it's just,
It's good to ask questions.
Is this similar to Abel Bennett?
Yeah, like I said, the reason I wouldn't really recommend this for local jurisdiction is because most of it's residential. That tends to, we're not a homeowners association, so. But like I said, there are a lot of structures in this area that are very important to Binghamton, and every major architect is represented in that area.
second the motion.
So it's for state and national or just state?
State,
And-
it goes to state and then they defer it to national. What's gonna happen is if it's okay and you guys vote to make it okay, there's a CLG grant called Certified Local Government Grant that I'm gonna write for in 2025. Andrew Robley would do what he did with the Main Street grant, and he would get it approved by the state and the National Registry.
So the motion is to approve the historic district for Riverside Drive and Front Street as presented. I heard second. Thank you.
Second that.
All in favor? Passes unanimously. And then the other thing is signing stipends in November. Do you have them with you, or is that later? They're going to be mailed out?
That's later. I have to come to you when they're all written out, but you have to sign them before December something, or it's a big giant mess. So
Okay.
keep an eye out for that.
I'm sorry?
I was hoping Santa Claus.
Yeah, wouldn't that be nice? My little thing.
Now there is, hang on.
Second. My little bag of goodies. I may come as Father Christmas just to mess with y'all. Yeah. It's a little different costume.
This is a webinar for COD commissioners for CLGs. If you want to do it, no, you don't have to pay the $15. We'll pay for it. But it is 13th of November at 1 o'clock. If you want to do it, just give us a call or offhand, I don't, oh, Wednesday. It's Wednesday. But if you're interested, just give us a call and we'll get you set up at the planning office.
A Zoom meeting, not in person, or
Yeah, it's a webinar. Yeah.
I would be interested. I'll be in the car, but I can do it in the car. Just have my wife drive.
And I'll email you guys this link if you want to check it out.
Anything else? Old business, new business, monkey business? Then I make a motion to conclude the City of Binghamton's Commission on Architecture, Urban Design, Historic Preservation for November 5th, 2024. Second, somebody, everybody. Okay. Dan, all in favor? We are adjourned.